Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest cars made by the in-game manufacturer Overflod in terms of lap time. As always, the position counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right, and since it's more for interest purposes rather than anything functional, non-raceable cars are included in this list. Also, as the title says, this is cars only, there's no bikes, planes or anything else here. This video only focuses on track performance, so if you're interested in top speed, where braking, cornering and acceleration aren't relevant, check the link in the description for the top speed testing series, and if you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. This video lists all Overflod cars and is correct as of the Los Santos Tuners update. For any vehicles added after that or other classes of cars, check the playlist linked in the second line of the description, and feel free to check out my Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want to support this work and get testing results of any new cars a little bit early. So we obviously start in 4th and 5th places with the entities, and it's the absolute classic where the newer entity came to the, arrived to the game and it was slower than the old one. And that's thanks to the advanced handling flags that the entity has that were added to the game when the entity was released, and it ruins the engine performance of the car and the handling as well. There's more info on that in the playlist that's on the card on the screen. Meanwhile, the old King, the entity without all these advanced handling flags, it was the quickest car back in 2013, and it still does respectable in a world of DLC cars, honestly. So great to see the old entity still around. The Tyrant has the same advanced handling flag problems and is beaten out by a sports car with the Morgon, which is the second fastest car that Overflod make, at least for lap time. The Morgon is awful for top speed, so giving it 3 gears to simulate a hybrid is basically what Rockstar did. This is at its core an electric car, like programmed in the same way that all other electric cars are in the game, but they gave it 3 gears, and that really helps with its acceleration, but it destroys its top speed. So it really gets up those gears quick and it really accelerates fast off the line, but it's one of the slowest cars in the entire sports class for top speed, which is probably the biggest difference we see from cars from 5th place in sports for lap time all the way down to sort of 70th place for top speed. But ultimately, the number 1 car that Overflod make, it's not even a competition, it's the Autark. The only car, there's very few cars that break the 1 minute barrier, and obviously the 59.960 second mark that Overflod got with the Autark is very, very respectable. And 8th place for the supercars class, it's into the top 10 there as well. And it's very similar to how the entity was back in 2013. The entity was the quickest car for lap time and for racing back in 2013 when the game first came out, and that was because it was a traction monster. It liked, getting the lap time from the corners. It wasn't the quickest in a straight line, but it would just dominate it around the corners. And the Autark is very similar, where it's just got so much downforce and so much grip that yes, there are quicker cars than it now when we look at things like the Krieger and the Emirates, but yeah, it's still a very, very quick car, and it gets all of that lap time from just putting putting your foot down around the corners and hoping it will stick. And because it has crazy levels of downforce, it usually does. When it comes to the comparison between the Entity XF and the Entity XXR, I figured I had to put this in at the end of the video. We've seen it before, especially when the Entity XXR came out. I think I showed this comparison because it was crazy to me at the time that Rockstar release a car that's much more expensive, it's newer, and it's 1.5 seconds per lap slower. But that's what happened, and it hasn't changed since. And it's like I said, it's all because of those advanced handling flags that the engine hits the rev limiter for ages, and the handling isn't very good on it. It's just a horrible car to drive, especially in comparison to the old entity. And like I said, if you want to get the full story on that, there is a playlist linked in the description that gives you the story so far and explains everything about advanced handling flags. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Consider supporting on Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want testing results early. And remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, and subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.